The first feedback that I received about my media product was when I first pitched my idea for a short film. I tried to ensure that my presentation was visually effective, informative and entertaining, because it is crucial to keep the audience interested whilst communicating all the ideas for the film. After my pitch, I received permission to create my short film, The Rower, and I received some useful feedback about camera angles due to the location for my film. I decided to make sure I do not use the same wide shots throughout, but to try and include different angles and shots that are more challenging. This was something that I took on board, using different cameras to get different shots, such as a GoPro, to get the shot of the oar gun into the water. From my audience feedback in the foundation year of my film Open into Daisy, I realised that there is no need to overcomplicate an idea for a film, and I needed to keep a simple narrative approach, because this can be way more effective. To do this, I based my narrative on Todorov's classic realist narrative theory, which is a simple structure, and I feel the audience appreciate this. Another time where I received useful feedback from my peers is when I screened my animatic storyboards to the class to see what people thought of my narrative, camera angles and sound. I received positive feedback for my choice of soundtrack to open the film, which is the ambient river sounds with the ukulele over the top, which links to the location of the film, shown by this quote. I feel the soundtracks are suited to the narrative, especially the opening one as it links to the theme of water really well. This gave me confidence that I was going in the right direction with my creative decisions. When I screened The Rower, I've received plenty of positive feedback alongside points for me to improve in the future. Firstly, people enjoyed the fact that my product looked like a film, due to the choices to edit the aspect ratio from 1920 to 1080 to 1920 to 816 to create a more cinematic look. This was something that I picked up during my research into real media products, with both professional short films and feature-length films, including the widescreen look. Also, they liked the use of colour grading and lighting, which made my shots look more professional and to a higher standard of work. This shows evidence of me developing my skill set from the foundation year to the advanced level, taking on board feedback that I have previously received. On the other hand, there is still plenty of room for improvement in my editing techniques according to my feedback, such as with the pacing of certain scenes. The issue was during the middle of the film, when Jamie was struggling to row. Due to the slow pace of the scene, I was told my audience may disconnect with the storyline, highlighting the importance of me improving the work. I decided to improve this by having a jump cut from the moment he pushes the boat out to when he starts to row badly. This was successful, as the editing technique allowed me to improve my film. Also in the film, I tried to use a variety of different editing techniques such as cross, dissolve, colour correction and match on action shots. The audience enjoyed my use of these, particularly the moment with match on action where they all fell into the water, as the varied camera shots enhanced the scene. Also, due to the use of colour correction on some shots from my second shoot, I used it up to make up for the difference in brightness, as the second day it wasn't sunny. It was important to ensure all the different shots were matching, as continuity is crucial in films to ensure the audience doesn't disconnect with the piece. The audience also weren't satisfied with this, however, as they felt the shot of Jamie as he rode away for the first time was duller than the rest. However, this can be easily fixed using the colour correction software to make the shot much less dull so it matches the others. This is something that I can easily take on board and make improvements to. I received mixed feedback about the camera work throughout my film. Firstly, people enjoyed my use of different shots such as tracking shots, point of view shots and extreme close-up shots. This was something that I worked on for my planning, conducting tests with different types of stabilisation devices, opting to use a 1 metre slider. The audience commented on this, saying that my shots were more stable than in the previous work, especially the opening tracking shot of Jamie's footsteps. Although my stabilisation was successful, it was pointed out that a few of my shots were slightly out of focus, for example the extreme close-up shot of Jamie looking out into the river. I worked within the genre of comedy, aiming to create a light-hearted short film which makes the audience laugh. I feel the audience understood the meaning of the film and they were enjoying it, as people were laughing during the funny moments I intended. I tried to adhere to the conventions of a comedy film by using bright lighting, light-hearted characters, and filmed in a naturalistic setting, and I feel like this helps to communicate the genre of the film to the audience. Despite this, I tried to challenge some conventions of comedy, such as relying on dialogue for all of the funny moments. As I tried to use visual comedy throughout my piece, Steve Neal's theory that genre is made up of repetition and change applies here, as if filmmakers do not challenge the conventions, audiences would tire of the same thing over and over again, which is what I wanted to avoid. I feel like my fresher approach to comedy films was brought across to my audience, and I received positive feedback for my use of visual comedy. After creating my film review, I asked my peers for some feedback. The first bit of this that I received was that my photos should have a caption, which is conventional in film reviews. This helped me to improve the work, as captions allow me to have work to a higher standard. And this shows that throughout all of my pieces, the film review, the poster, and the short film, feedback has helped me to improve my work.